What's up, guys? It's Hitch here, bringing a new kind of series. I used to do something on the UMG channel called UMG Weekly, where basically I talked about news and things that were happening inside of the esports scene, and I want to do that on my personal channel now. I kind of miss it, and I want to bring it back. I don't know what to call it. Right now, I'm just kind of going with Hitch Talks Too Much, HTTM for now. I know that's kind of dumb, but I do talk a lot, like too much, so... I don't know, that's what I'm going with for now. So I guess this is the first ever episode of Hitch Talks Too Much. So the first thing I wanted to talk about was Nadeshot winning the eSports Player of the Year award. So I thought it was great. I thought it was a great thing for our scene and our community as a whole to see, so much recognition from mainstream gaming, I guess, to recognize what esports is and who we are as a community. One thing that did kind of bother me is how casual the award was given. Every other award was very produced. They had a lot of production behind it, and it was, they called out all of the nominees and had a little segment on each of the nominees and things like that. But then for when esports came around, he just kind of like called Nadeshot up, called him up to like the side station, to the side stage, and like he was his buddy, and just talking to him with a little interview, and then just kind of handed him an award. And it was kind of, I don't know, it was kind of frustrating, I guess, a little bit. But then at the same time, it's great to have just even a little bit of recognition, seeing where we were like 3 years ago, and to see how big we are now. It's great to see, and I know that we're going nowhere but forward. Being the professional that he is, Nadeshot accepted the award and was able to give a quick speech and, did a very solid job of quickly explaining what he does and what esports is, and hopefully, it at least maybe impacted a couple people into introducing them of how we play video games that they all love on a professional level. So I don't know. I think it's a great thing, and I know in a few years that we are just going to dominate shows like this. Esports will have its own show, its own award ceremony, and we're really, I don't know. I just know how much potential esports has, and I'm excited to see where it goes. Next up, something crazy that happened was Elevate and Noble had a little bit of a conflict, I guess you could say. Not as the two organizations had conflict with each other, but there was just controversy in general. So if you guys remember way back to MLG Anaheim, Elevate won a spot into the MLG League, but they were playing with Mad Cat, who was a European player, and so instead of playing with him, they had to fill in with a sub, and then they also had crazy schedules, and it was very unorganized, and they ended up losing all 8 of their first matches. So instead of continuing to play, they actually sold their spot to Noble, the organization. And apparently some financial things went down, some complications, and Noble ended up getting their spot yanked out, and Elevate was put back in. So as everyone kind of assumed would happen, what Elevate did was take the full Noble squad and just transfer them over. So it's still the same teams that are in the league, but just under a different organization now. And I don't want to read too much into it, but I think it's kind of crazy to see how far we've come from in just like 2 years. I feel like 2 years ago, organizations weren't given as much respect as they probably should have compared to the players, but now it's becoming a legitimate business. It's becoming companies and organizations are really having to earn their place in the scene, and it's not just players can move around wherever they want to people who are basically giving them free flights and hotels. It's actually people that are really investing into this scene and hoping to get something out of it, and it's great to see us moving in that direction. And something else that happened yesterday was the first day of the MLG League. And I guess I've been stuck in kind of a land setting mindset where it's everything is full production because I just got back from Columbus, but I I kind of forgot what it's like to watch just the regular league games in someone's stream, and it's really exciting, and it caught me by surprise. I don't know why I wasn't really prepared for it, but I had a blast watching some streams last night. And if you really stop to think about it, streaming and what we do on a daily basis is kind of crazy, even as spectators. Like, we're that fifth man in the team, we're the supporters that they have every single day, and it's something that conventional sports don't have. Could you imagine witnessing what goes on in a professional player's like huddle, like a team huddle, or on the sidelines? If you get to hear what the coaches were saying, or even like if every player was mic'd up on a soccer team, like if you gotten to witness that on a daily basis, that's basically what we do. We see these teams practice, we watch how they communicate and grow as a team, and it's something that I don't want to take for granted, because it's something that it's not available anywhere else. It's only in our little community that, you know, we have the privilege of having this. But anyway, just an update on what happened last night. The top 3 teams as of now are Aware Gaming, Team Just Us, and Optic Gaming. But obviously it was the very first night, so that is going to continue to change, and I'm going to continue to try to bring you guys updates as that fluctuates. And even though I am extremely biased, something that I do want you guys to check out if you ever have time is last night's episode of The Sticks. So I was not able to be on the show because I was at work, but I still watched it. I was trying to be a sneaky employee. I was in the stock room actually putting things up, and I put my phone in between boxes, and I was able to watch and work at the same time. So it was kind of cool. But it was one of the best shows, you know, that I think I've seen in a long time. And having Aches on as the special guest in a primarily green wall supported talk show, it went smooth. It went really, really smooth, and Aches was able to answer a lot of questions, and it's insane how much knowledge he has of the game. So he's already broken this game down to a T, even though we're in its extremely early stages, and he talks a little bit about how he has grown throughout his career, and he talks a little bit about the metagame now, and how he foresees it changing in the future. And it's crazy, you know, you kind of get a little taste of what it's like to be a professional player in a video game. Like these knowledge that he has isn't just like extreme hobby. Like, it's not what he wants to learn just to be good at a game. It's his job, and it's what he has to learn. He has to be ahead of the curve if he wants to be the top player, in order to get paid, in order to get sponsors, to be on a good team. Like, this is his job, and it's insane. Like, it's crazy to see all of the knowledge that he has. I mean, he really does a great job of explaining everything, so I really recommend you guys check it out if you have a spare moment or two. And the last thing I wanted to talk about is map rotation. So that's pretty much one last thing that we don't have worked out in this game so far, is what exactly we're going to play. So I think 99% of people want to see 2 hardpoints back into the rotation, as well as 2 S&Ds, and so that leaves 1 game type left, or 1 spot in a best of 5, which could either go to uplink or CTF. And in my opinion, I want to see both played. I want to see sort of a rotation where, you know, in one best of 5 series you'll play a CTF, and then the next one you'll play an uplink. I know it's a little bit crazy. We've never really done anything like that before, but I just can't imagine not playing either one of those game types. They're both so competitive and so strategic and team based. People are saying that uplink is the more favorable game type as far as, you know, watching it, and it's very entertaining to watch, which it is. It's amazing to watch. But CTF has always been there. CTF has been basically the core of what we have going on. I mean, ever since Modern Warfare 2, besides Search and Destroy, CTF has always been that game type that we can rely on because it's competitive, and we can learn it, and there's strategies, and it's not always just insane chaos going on, like in hardpoint and in uplink, and kind of in dom and in blitz. It's always been that in between game type. It's not search, but it's not like as slow as search and as strategic as search is, but it's not as chaotic as hardpoint is. It's that game type, and it's still that game type, and I think it can be. And I just can't imagine going from Ghost hating blitz and hating these game types and wanting CTF back into it, and then we get it and we don't want to play it. I can't imagine that. I can't imagine playing a Call of Duty competitively without having CTF in it. I really want to see it in, and I think that this rotation is the best way to do it, in my opinion. So yeah, that's really all I wanted to talk about today. Let me know if you guys enjoy this, if you want to see more. Right now I'm just doing it off of my webcam, but if I continue to get support and things like that, I'll go back to how I did it for UMG with the the full HD and everything like that, a full production. But as of now, I just wanted to give you guys a little taste of what it would be like if I were to do a show. Just give you guys some updates and then my opinion on it. My full opinion, because I'm a very opinionated person. But every episode I want to leave you guys with a question. So the question for this one is, what do you think the game type should be? What rotation do you want to play CTF and take uplink away, or do you want to play uplink, take CTF away, or do you want to play everything and only play one hardpoint? What do you want to play, and what do you think would be most entertaining and most skillful for this year's circuit? Alright guys, well that pretty much does it. If you want to see more of these, let me know. If not, just call me a dumb face, dumb head in the comments, and I'll see you next time. Alright guys, peace.